organs. We know that we have a five senses here: vision, hearing, smell, taste and touch. Senses make us aware of what is going on around us and in our body. So senses help us to be aware of our surrounding, what is happening in our surrounding or what is happening in our own body. There are five senses. We know that there are five senses: sight, hearing, touch, smell and taste. Each of these senses has its own sense organs. There are five senses and each senses have its own sense organs. First one is the eyes. Eyes are the sense organ of the sight. We know that the eye is the sense organ of the sight, through which we see different things and different objects. Our eyes are in sockets in the skulls, which help protect them from damage. Our eyes are in the form of a socket which is enclosed in our skulls, so that help us from damage. The eyes are held in a place by muscles which also move our eyes up and down and from side to sides. अब हमारी आइज़ क्या है, मसल्स के अंदर प्लेस्ड है. मसल्स मीन्स मसल हेल्प देम टू मूव अप and down and from side to side. So these are muscles around the eyes which helps them. These are the muscles which help the eyes to move up, down and side by side. Okay, this is the internal structure of the eye. So there are two types of muscles which help the eye to move up and down and side by side. We know that we have two eyes a few centimeters apart. This helps us to judge distance and find the position of the thing easily. By using our eyes, we can see the distance, we can see and judge the distance of different things from us and also the position of things easily. Each eye sees a slightly different image. Each eye sees a different image. The brain puts the two images together to give a 3D dimensional effects. Our two eyes see slightly different image. When these two images are interprets the brain, and the brain gives this image into the 3-dimensional effect. Okay, and this is called the stereoscopic vision. अब stereoscopic vision क्या होती है? जब हमारे पास दो different image form होते हैं eye पे, then these two different images are collected together and brain form a 3-dimensional effect. This is called the stereoscopic vision. Okay, so there are the different parts of the eye. So start from this white portion is known as cornea. It is tough and clear. Cornea is the outermost layer. It is a whitish color. It is whitish in color. Look at this picture. This white part of the eye is known as a cornea. This whitish part is known as a cornea. Then these are the colored part of the eye. These two are the color part of the eye. That is next layer of the eye. It is called the iris. It is the colored part of the eye. Here this is the colored part of the eye. This is known as the iris, and in the center of the eye there is the hole which is known as the pupil. Which is known as a pupil. There is a hole in the center of the eye which is known as a pupil. The hole in the middle of the iris. So this is a iris colored part, grayish. फिर उसके सेंटर में एक हमारे पास होल है जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं, which is called pupil, and outside this is a cornea, whitish part. Okay, so there are three things. This is a pupil, this is a cornea and this is the iris. And beside the eye there are the muscles which helps to move up and down the eye or side by side. There are the muscles. Next to the cornea, there is a lens. This is a jelly lens which is present in both the eyes. These are the lens which help us to detect the image. And this whitish portion is a watery liquid, and jelly helps the eyeball to keep its shape. This is a whitish liquid which helps the eyeball to keep it in its shape. So muscles, cornea, lens, white liquid, pupil, and this is colored part, iris. Here below the iris is also the muscles. These are the muscles change the shape of the lens. In front of the at the two sides of the lens there are two muscles which change the shape of the lens. So these two muscles change the shape of the lens. Okay, there are also muscles. A function is to move up and down the eyeball. Whether there are two types of the muscles which are present at the both side of the lens. The function of these muscles is to change the shape of the lens. And here is the innermost layer of the eye is called the retina. Retina is the main part of the eye where the image is formed. Okay, so retina consists of nerve cells. In a retina there are many nerve cells which carry messages and form the image here at retina. And the last one, this is called the optic nerves. This is called the optic nerve. Optic nerve consists of a bundle of nerve fibers which carry signals to the brain. From here the image is formed, and from this the signals are transferred toward the brain. Okay, so these are the different parts of the eye. So you have to practice this diagram and also label it. Next is, how do eye work? Let me see how do eye work. First of all, the first step is ray lights. This is the eye, this is the object. Rays of light from the objects. सबसे पहले लाइट रेज आएंगी इस ऑब्जेक्ट से and enters the pass through the corneum, pupil and the lens. These ray of lights come from the object and pass through the cornea, pupil and lens. These ray lights comes to this part of the eye, and then the rays strike the retina and set up the signal in some of its nerve cells. फिर ये रे लाइट्स यहाँ से पास होती हुई कहाँ जाएंगी, इस रेटिना पे जाएंगी. जब यहाँ रेटिना पे ये आएंगी तो हमारे पास दे फॉर्म ऑफ सिग्नल, सेट अप ऑफ सिग्नल्स इन फॉर्म ऑफ नर्व सेल्स. ओके, देन फिर यहाँ पे जब रेटिना पे ये लाइट फॉल होगी और सिग्नल सेटअप होंगे, देन दे फॉर्म अ इमेज ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट इन द रेटिना. पिक्चर इमेज फॉर्म ऑन द retina. ठीक है, so first step is light comes from the object, then passes through the cornea, lens and the pupils, then it passes through the retina. Retina set up the signals here and form the image on the retina. And the fourth step is the nerve cells send signals to the brains along the optic nerve. When the image is formed at the optic nerve, the nerve cells send these signals to the brain through the optic nerve. We know that optic nerve consists of many bundles of nerve cells. So when the image is formed, the message from the signals comes from the retina to the brain through the optic nerve. So this is how the eye works. how the eye works. Light from an object enters the eye through a hole called a pupil. अब लाइट हमारे पास कहाँ से इंटर होगी, ऑब्जेक्ट से इंटर होगी टूवर्ड द प्यूपिल, ठीक है। एक होल है जो आई में, जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं, प्यूपिल, ठीक है। द लाइट इज़ फोकस्ड, फिर लाइट को कहाँ पे फोकस किया जाएगा, द लाइट इज़ फोकस्ड बाय द कॉर्निया एंड लेंस टू प्रोड्यूस अ शार्प इमेज ऑन द रेटिना। फिर वो लाइट कहाँ पे फोकस होगी, पहले कॉर्निया पे, फिर वो कहाँ प्यूपिल से वो लाइट आएगी, फिर वो कहाँ पे आएगी, लेंस, इस कॉर्निया पे, फिर वो फोकस होगी इस लेंस पे, फिर ये क्या प्रोड्यूस करेगी, एक शार्प इमेज कहाँ पे, इस रेटिना पे फॉर्म करेगी। मीन टू से दीज 4 स्टेप आर द मेन हाउ डू आई वर्क, सो दीज आर explained in detail in the next topic, in this topic. The image is small and upside down. We know that the image formed on retina is small and its upside is, this upside is in the image, it is down, okay. Here are the function of the sum of the part of the eye, the lens. First one is the lens. The lens is made up of a jelly-like substance. अब lens हमारे पास किससे made up of है? It made up of a jelly-like substance. The shape of the lens can be changed by a ring of muscles running around its edge. We know that I have told you that there are the lens. This is a lens. At both sides of these lens there are the muscles which change the shape of the lens. Okay. This enables us to focus on objects at different distances, and these muscles then help us to focus the objects which are present at the different distances from us. Okay, so this is the function of the lens. The second part next is the iris. The amount of light entering the eye is controlled by the iris. So what is the function of the iris? Iris is, this is the colored part of the eye is known as the iris, and this is the pupil. So the iris controls the amount of light entering the, is controlled by the iris. The muscles of the iris change the size of the pupil to allow more or less light to pass through the, in iris there is also the muscles which help us to change the shape of the size of the pupil to allow more light, के more light allow करनी है या less light allow करनी है, ठीक है। On the retina are the millions of, number third one is the retina. So first one lens का functions, number second is iris, and third one is the retina. On the retina are millions of light sensitive nerve cells. I have told you that nerve cells, there is a number of nerve cells in the retina. The brain interprets signals from the retina. The signals comes from the retina, is interpreted by the brains, and then produces a picture that you see, as we have seen at this के रेटिना पे जब हमारे पास कोई भी इमेज फॉर्म होता है तो वो कहा होता है, सिग्नल्स जाते हैं टुवर्ड द ब्रेन, उसको इंटरप्रेट करता है, और एज अ रिजल्ट क्या होता है, कोई भी इमेज शो होती है. सो दिस इज़ हाउ द आई वर्क. If the human eye was a digital camera, it would have a resolution of 576 megapixel. और ह्यूमन आई एक डिजिटल कैमरा होता तो इसकी रेजोल्यूशन पावर देखने की जो इसकी पावर है कितनी दूर तक, कितनी रेजोल्यूशन तक ये देख सकते हैं, तो देन इट्स पावर विल बी 576 megapixel. So underline it. We have studied first sense organ, which is the eye, in detail. So you have to practice this diagram, and also there are different parts of the eye, label it and learn by heart.